Question number 41. You are a data analyst working on a project that requires access to a Power BI dataset called Sales Insight, which is stored in a workspace called Marketing Data. You have built permission for the Sales Insight dataset, allowing you to create reports, but you don't have any permission for the Marketing Data workspace itself. To analyze the data and build your report, which two actions should you take? Option A. From the Power BI service, create a data flow to the dataset using direct query. Option B. From Power BI desktop, connect to the dataset by selecting Get Data and choosing the Power BI dataset option. Option C. From the Power BI service, create a new report and select the Sales Insight dataset as the data source. Option D. From Power BI desktop, connect to an external data source like a SQL database. The correct answers are Option B. From Power BI desktop, connect to the dataset by selecting Get Data and choosing the Power BI dataset option. Option C. From the Power BI service, create a new report and select the Sales Insight dataset as the data source. Build permission allows you to create reports from the dataset even without workspace access. You can either connect to a dataset in Power BI desktop using Power BI dataset or create a new report in the Power BI service using the Sales Insight dataset. Question number 42. You have a line chart in Power BI that displays the monthly sales figure for a particular product over the past year. You want to provide more context to users by displaying the profit margin for that product when they hover over a data point on the chart. What should you do? Option A. Add profit margin to the drill through fields. Option B. Add profit margin to the visual filters. Option C. Add profit margin to the tooltips. The correct answer is Option C. Add profit margin to the tooltips. Adding the profit margin to the tooltip field allows it to appear when users hover over points on the line chart, providing context without changing the visual itself. Question number 43. You are a social media manager for a popular online clothing store. You want to use Power BI's AI Insight to analyze customer comment collected from your company's social media channels. You need to extract key information to understand customer sentiment and identify areas for improvement. Specifically, you want to determine the following from the customer comments. The main topics customers discuss in their feedback. The overall sentiment expressed in the comment, positive, negative, neutral. The languages used by customers in their feedback. Which AI Insight service should you use for each output? To identify the main topics customers discuss. To determine the overall sentiment. To detect the languages used. Option A. Key phrase extraction. sentiment analysis, language detection. Option B, text analytics, sentiment analysis, language detection. Option C, key phrase extraction, anomaly detection, language detection. The correct answer is option A, key phrase extraction, sentiment analysis, language detection. Key phrase extraction identifies the important words and themes repeatedly mentioned in customer comments, helping you understand what topics they discuss most. Sentiment analysis evaluates the emotional tone of each comment to determine whether customers feel positive, negative, or neutral. Language detection scans the text to recognize which languages customers are using, allowing you to understand your multilingual audience. Question number 44. In a Power BI model, you have two tables, sales and date, with multiple date columns in the sales table. Example, order date, ship date. You need to create a relationship to the date table that allows for dynamic reporting on both order and ship dates. What is the best approach to model this scenario? Option A, create two separate date tables, one for each date type. Option B, use a single date table and create inactive relationship, activating them as needed with use relationship index. Option C, merge the sales and date tables into a single table. The correct answer is option B, use a single date table and create inactive relationship, activating them as needed with user relationship index. In Power BI, only one active relationship can exist between two tables at a time. By creating inactive relationship between the date table and other date columns, example ship date, you can use the use relationship function in DAX to dynamically activate the desired relationship for specific calculations, enabling flexible reporting without duplicating the date table. Question number 45. True or false? Quick measures in Power BI can be used to create complex tax calculation for common scenarios like running total without writing any DAX code. Option A, true. Option B, false. The correct answer is option A, true. Quick Measures in Power BI provides a user-friendly interface to create common calculations such as running totals, year-to-date, percent of total, and more without writing tax manually. Power BI automatically generates the underlying tax formula based on the fields and measures you select. Just a quick reminder, if you don't have time to watch these videos and instead download all questions and answers, feel free to purchase them on Buy Me a Coffee page. I have shared the link below. Question number 46. To share a Power BI report with a colleague without granting them editing rights, you should blank space. Option A, publish the report to the web. Option B, Share a dashboard instead of a report. Option C. Create a dedicated app workspace. Option D. Provide them with view-only access to the report. The correct answer is option D. Provide them with view-only access to the report. Granting view-only access allows your colleague to see and interact with the report without being able to modify it. Publishing to the web makes the report public. Sharing a dashboard doesn't replace report access, and creating a workspace alone doesn't control individual permissions. Question number 47. Imagine you are a data analyst working for a library. You have two CSV files, books and authors. The books file contains information about each book, including its title, ISBN, author ID, and genre. The author's file contains detail about each author, including your author ID, name, and nationality. You want to create a Power BI report that analyzes book data, including author information. Challenge: you need to combine the data from these two CSV files into a single Power BI dataset with a table named Book Details. This table should include the following columns: title, ISBN, author ID, genre, author name, author nationality. Solution: how should you combine the book and author's queries in Power Query Editor? And how should you manage the loading of the author's query to achieve this? Option A. Combine the queries by performing a merge. On the author's query, delete the query. Option B. Combine the queries by performing a append. On the author's query, disable the query load. Option C. Combine the queries by performing a merge. On the author's query, disable the query load. The correct answer is option C. Combine the queries by performing a merge. On the author's query, disable the query load. To create the book details table, you should merge the books and author's queries based on author ID. This adds author information, name and nationality to each book row. The author's query itself doesn't need to be loaded separately into the model, so you disable its load, keeping the dataset clean and only including the combined table. Question number 48. In the development of a Power BI report, you aim to analyze the distribution of integer values by grouping them into defined intervals. To effectively create a histogram that displays this data distribution across several ranges, which two components must you incorporate? Option A. A textual data field. Option B. A calculated measure. Option C. A quantitative data field. Option D. A classification of bins. The correct answers are option C. A quantitative data field. Option D. A classification of bins. To build a histogram in Power BI, you need a quantitative, numeric field to analyze and bins to group the numeric values into defined ranges. Text field or standalone measures cannot directly create histograms, as histograms require numeric distribution. Question number 49. When configuring row level security (RLS) in Power BI, which of the following statements are true? Option A. RLS can only be configured in the Power BI service, not in Power BI desktop. Option B. Once published to Power BI service, RLS rules cannot be tested using Test as Role feature in Power BI desktop. Option C. RLS settings are automatically applied to all reports and dashboards that use the secured dataset within the Power BI service. Option D. RLS requires a Power BI Pro license for users to configure roles and rules within Power BI desktop. Option E. User roles and permissions for RLS can be assigned and managed in the Power BI service after publishing the dataset. The correct answers are Option C. RLS settings are automatically applied to all reports and dashboards that use the secured dataset within the Power BI service. Option E. User roles and permissions for RLS can be assigned and managed in the Power BI service after publishing the dataset. Row level security (RLS) applies to all reports and dashboards built on the secure dataset C, ensuring consistent data restriction. After publishing, user roles and permissions can be assigned and managed in the Power BI service. Option E. RLS can be configured in Power BI desktop and tested using View as Role, and a Pro license is not required to create roles in desktop, only for sharing and collaboration. Question number 50. Arrange the following steps in the correct order to use the Group By feature in Power Query for creating a summary table that shows the total sales amount per year from a table named Sales, with columns Sales Date and Sales Amount. Choose Sum at the operation and select the Sale Amount column. Open the Group By dialog from the Home tab. Select Year as the column to group by. Add a custom column to extract the year from sale date. Option A 1, 4, 3, 2. Option B 4, 2, 3, 1. Option C 2, 3, 4, 1. Option D 2, 3, 1, 4. The correct answer is option B 4, 2, 3, 1. First, you need to extract the year from the sale date column by adding a custom column. Then, open the Group By dialog from the Home tab. Select Year as the grouping column and finally choose Sum as the operation on the Sale Amount column to create the summary table.